It is Monday morning, March 15th, and today I'm heading over to the Spotify offices in New York City. For those of you that don't know, I live in the Lower East Side in New York, and today is kind of interesting because there is a demonstration being held, I think worldwide, at the Spotify offices, in addition to online, a demonstration called Justice at Spotify. And I don't know exactly all of the details of who organized it, but what I do know is that they are talking about a lot of the things that I do in my Slept On by Spotify series, which is that, their compensation is not great. Their demands are for artists to be paid at least 1 cent per stream. They want more transparency surrounding kind of who the stakeholders are and who has a lot of sway in Spotify, at Spotify, and stop fighting artists. Apparently there are lawsuits going on. This specific one that they're citing here regards an increase in mechanical songwriter royalties that they're trying to fight. I'm kind of excited for it, and I thought I would vlog what's going on and bring along my GoPro. In talking with artists, and from my perspective, as I've mentioned, Spotify is not an objective platform. I don't think any platform can be objective because, you know, they have bills to pay. I get it. They're not charities. But Spotify kind of acts as though it is the place where you as an artist can connect with fans, and that's only true to an extent. This transparency clause, once again, they say, make all deals with major labels public and end practices that resemble payola. For those that don't know, payola is when a party pays off like a radio DJ, for instance, to put their song on the radio. And this is something that there's a great podcast called, I think it's called American Scandal, but basically I remember a very specific episode where Pink Floyd decided to not play the game, to not pay radio DJs for their new single, to get airtime. And this is Pink Floyd. They were already well known at the time, and their brand new song didn't get on the radio whatsoever because the DJs had this precedent that they were supposed to get a lot of money to prioritize music for artists or for labels. So this was all exposed, I think, in the 70s, and there are laws in place. But instead of payola being eradicated, it's just kind of taken a different form, and it's kind of always existed to some extent. And I understand that, like, there's a lot of music out there, and I think people need to market their music. I think people need to get behind it. You can't just upload things and expect it to work because, frankly, there's just so much music out there. It's hard sometimes to sort through it all. But I do entirely agree that the payola practices are likely to be something that is happening at maybe multiple platforms, but it seems more clear at Spotify, because if Spotify wasn't so concerned with controlling their playlists and promoting their own playlists on the platform, they would have added a bunch of social features that allowed us as listeners to curate more. Really, the only social features you have right now is seeing other people's playlists, maybe seeing who's listening to what currently, you know, on the right hand side you can see that, but frankly it's not in their best interest to give the listeners power at all. This looks like a great event. I don't know how busy it's going to be, but I'm going to take some footage there. I'm going to bring my little tiny microphone and I don't know, see whether or not I can chat with people and get their views. And I feel like it might be a little bit of an echo chamber because people who are showing up at this are just fed up with Spotify and how it is, and I'm a little worried it's just going to be like a bunch of like bitter old men like me. That's how I feel. I feel like a bitter old man. But I mean, I shouldn't be that bitter. I don't really release music that often, to be honest, but
artists and right holders a minimum of 1 cent per stream Credit all laborers in recording. Spotify should honor all the labor involved in making a recording. We demand full credits listed on every work on Spotify. Last but not least, stop fighting the artists. End legal battles intended to further impoverish artists.
Would you guys be interested in a quick chat? Want to meet? Do a quick little cute interview thing? I'm not like a famous guy or anything, but I got a small microphone.
I love it.
And I got a GoPro.
Yeah,
so it's like
that's all you need these days.
we almost got hyper. I need to be like going back and forth with the mic. I always forget. I'm new to this. What's your name?
David.
David.
I'm Mel.
Mel, I'm Nick. Good to meet you.
Nick.
I primarily make a lot of electronic music, so I didn't bring any instruments because I suck at them for the most part, or they're guitars and I don't really want to break them.
Right.
But what kind of music do you guys make?
I'm a classical musician.
Classical.
And I make rock-ish music.
Nice. Have you released a lot of music on Spotify in the past?
Yeah.
You as well?
3 albums, yeah.
3 albums, like full LPs.
Yeah.
Awesome. Have you like pushed your music to the Spotify playlist, the editors, and everything?
Yeah, I've got like 800,000 streams, and I've like, I don't know, I feel like I've made like $100 or something.
As recording artists, have you guys been pushing all of your fans towards other platforms like Bandcamp, or do you guys have Patreons, or like how do you guys prefer to redirect attention if you can?
I mean, soliciting donations has been a big part from audience members and like fans. Has been a really big part of my experience so far. People have gone out of the habit of paying for the music that they listen to, and streaming corporations like Spotify know that, and that's the reason artists are getting exploited. And so the way that art gets paid for has to fundamentally change, and that starts with the decisions that Spotify and other media hosting companies control. It starts with them.
Thanks for chatting.
This is Spencer.
Spencer, what are your hot takes, Spencer?
Let's
Cold takes. Any takes?
I'm freezing and I just want a penny. I just want a penny a stream. It sucks that artists always have to be the innovators instead of the industry innovating to support artists.
So I'm standing here with one of the organizers of Justice at Spotify. And remind me your name, sorry.
My name's Ben.
Ben. So Ben was hooking us up with all the some of the chants and stuff, and delivered the demands to Spotify. When you went inside, how'd it go down?
It didn't completely go down. We went inside to both literally and symbolically deliver our demands to Spotify. I mean, we're emailing our demands to a bunch of different addresses at Spotify, and these deliveries are happening concurrently in 10 or 15 other cities, so hopefully they get the message.
Do you feel like the 1 cent demand is something that could realistically happen over the next 5 or 10 years?
It really depends on like so many things. I think in some ways it's realistic, in other ways it's meant to kind of like be largely a more symbolic act or ask, so that to just re-examine how they value the entire engine that fuels their business model.
Yeah. Obviously, I want to increase transparency. I want to know what some of these contracts are that are happening behind closed doors. Do you feel like there's written contracts between like Spotify editors and labels, or like how much of this do you think is over the table as far as Spotify is concerned versus just super backdoor kind of handshake deals?
Yeah, that's a great question that I think it's probably both. I mean, I think by virtue of the fact that major labels own like about I think it's about 80% of the catalog on Spotify. Because of that, they're able to leverage things like editorial playlists, algorithmic playlists. I think they get preferential rates. I mean, the other mechanism that makes it really complex is that some of the major labels, through subsidiaries and parent companies, own chunks of Spotify as well. So it's a very kind of like problematic.
Nepotism kind of.
Yeah. I think they're owned. They're all stakeholders in this really horrible machine that's kind of not working at the moment. So.
Do you feel like this only starts with Spotify and the other platforms are equally culpable?
Yeah, I mean, I think that certainly Spotify is the most egregious. I mean, they have the biggest market share of all of them, and I certainly don't think that like Apple is a better company than Spotify, and there aren't too many major market platforms that do pay artists fairly. But I think Spotify is the most egregious for now. But we're definitely interested in kind of expanding our vocabulary to include all, I think we need to be asking for more from all of the companies where our music can be found.
Do you want to shout out the organization, the union?
Yeah, we're UMAW, Union of Musicians and Allied Workers. You can find our work at unionofmusicians.org. You can read more about our Justice at Spotify campaign there. And yeah, feel free to connect on Instagram, Twitter, all that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for talking.
Yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it.